So today we're talking with David, who recently had his mother's roof restored by Reliance Roofing. So David, how'd you come to find out about Reliance?
Well, Reliance is a firm that I came across about 3 years ago, and I wanted to get my own roof done. So I took in a number of quotes, and I was very impressed with the quote and the rationale behind Reliance Roofing. There were cheaper quotes around. There were dodgy brothers and a lot of cheaper fly-by-nighters, but Reliance struck me as a very reputable firm. By the time they finished doing the job on my place, I was so impressed. I went ahead, and when my mother needed her roof done, I went straight to Reliance. In fact, I didn't go out for any other quotes. I wanted a reliable firm that I could trust, and that firm for me was Reliance.
That's great, David. So were you here to watch the work while the fellows were actually doing what needed to be done?
No, I wasn't, but I had enough confidence in the work plan. I was talked through the work plan by one of your representatives, and from there I was very confident that I knew that there was a thorough cleaning of the roof to take place, and it wasn't just a quick skim over. It was done twice, and that preparation work really laid the groundwork for a good solid job on top.
Okay, it sounds like there was some sort of a problem before we actually came along to do the work here, David. What was the story with that?
Well, unfortunately, about 7 or 8 years ago, a fly-by-night firm had come through and done a really bad job on the roof. There was some cracking in some of the tiles, and there was the paint that they'd applied had turned to powder. It was obviously a very thin coat that they put down in the first place. What Reliance did was clean all that up, replace cracked tiles, did a very thorough inspection of the roof before they put down 2 very thick coats of the colour that my mum selected, which, as it turned out, was exactly the same colour that I had on my roof. And I'm really hoping that she'll get the same good looks out of her roof that I've had out of mine for the last 3 years.
Well, thanks very much for talking with us today, David. There's only one last question I'd like to ask you, and that is, if somebody came to you and said they needed to get their roof restored, who would you personally recommend?
There's only one name, and you go straight to Reliance, you got nothing to worry about.
Speaking with Jenny and Jeff, who have just had their roof restored by Reliance. So Jenny, how did you find the Reliance experience?
Well, Jeff answered an ad in the Sunday Mail, and we had a rep come out from Reliance to give us a written quote and to explain the procedure to us. From then on, we had good communication from each stage. The fellows would ring us up and make sure they could get on site, and they would always contact us before they arrived. So it all happened within about a week, and it was a positive experience.
That's great. Okay, so if you had to rate Reliance, 1 being don't contact them and 10 being yeah, where would you rate Reliance in your opinion?
I'd say that Reliance would be right up there around the 10 mark, because everything they promised they came good with. The communication was great. The fellas rang us before they came out each time that they came to do the next stage of the roof, so everything went really well.
And we're speaking with Estelle and Roger, who have just had their roof restored by Reliance. So I'll ask you, Estelle, how did you find the Reliance experience?
Look, we were really impressed with the whole job, particularly the punctuality and reliability of the tradesmen. And it's nice to see young people work as hard as those young people did. We were very impressed with the overall finish of the job.
Great. Now this is a rather large house. It's bigger than your average house, I'd say that. But this job would have taken a while. Did the fellas communicate with you each step of the way?
Look, I was at work most of the time, so Roger was home at that time, so I'll let you answer that, Roger.
Yeah, they were pretty good. The only thing that did sort of slow things down a bit was one wet day, that was all.
So a bit of rain in the middle, Roger, that was the other one.
The day they were due to paint, it rained all day. But apart from that, they were good. They were on time. They didn't leave early in the afternoon.
Okay, now from memory I can recall that there was a bit of a change to the plan. We had to do some extra bits of the roof as well, some metal sections I think, towards the end. So did that dovetail in all right with the plans?
Yeah, that was probably my fault because we as you know, we elected to go a shade darker with the original paint. And it wasn't until we're upstairs that we realised that we had a couple of colour-bond roofs that also we'd probably like to tone in with the new job. So that was the extra, but no, did a very good job of that. And I'm pleased we did that.
Great.
Even though it's not seen from the outside, it's just knowing that the whole thing's finished and done well. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So if someone came to you and said, oh, I'm thinking of getting my roof done as well, who would you refer them to?
Certainly Reliance.
Yeah, definitely.
Because even when we had this job, we had a couple of quotes done because there was a couple of others around the area at the time, and it wasn't just price. We were very impressed with the professionalism, and we just felt that we would get a good job, and we did.
That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, the job is real good.
So you'd have us back again, Roger?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But we don't want to have to do it again anytime soon.
No, I hope you don't too.